The energy of the Pleiadians is this feminine energy. They are all about supporting us to awaken, to expand our consciousness as far out as we can, and to be able to hold the higher frequency light codes while we are still being human. We are here to deeply support this powerful change that is happening right now. You may be noticing that you're trying to heal or trying to fix. The problem is the trying. And so Uranus is helping you to stop trying, to actually surrender. And as this happens, Venus comes in with this immense opening of your heart. The relationship to yourself is shifting. You've expanded into the seventh dimensional energy. And Sedna is bringing in the frequency of deep peace. And it's always available to you. What's happening in our solar system is happening deep within the ocean, as above, so below. They've shifted their frequency to the seventh dimension, which means it's way easier to connect to all beings that vibrate in higher levels, not just up, but also down within the ocean and within the earth. There are beings that live even in the crystal caves inside the earth. And this is all coming in now.
Hello and welcome everyone. I'm your host Stefan Burns, today with a very special guest on a very special day. We were just talking about this. It's like a once every 12,000 year event right now. Like literally, no exaggeration. Natalie, thanks for being here. How are you doing?
Oh, it's wonderful to be here, and the alignment of us coming together is powerful. I keep getting this message coming through that what's happening right now with this conjunction, the power and light and energy of it, it's not just going to reach thousands, but it feels like millions are ready for this. So this is big.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sleeper, and the conjunction specifically is Venus conjunct Uranus, but also conjunct the Pleiades. And we'll add in one more to make it this basically 12,000 year long cycle. But Uranus takes 84 years to perform an orbit around the sun. So you get a Venus-Uranus-Pleiades conjunction every 84 years or so. And Uranus is this really Promethean archetypal energy of liberation and consciousness, awareness, and blossoming, and kind of some radical shifts and changes, but usually for the benefit of humanity as a whole. Venus being this benefic agent connected to relationships and also to financial systems and money, and that's actually really well implicated with this. I'll just quickly touch on before you start to do your channeling thing. I'll touch on some of the prior conjunctions of this and what themes were brought up, and then the Pleiades, the seven sisters, which you connect to regularly. They are very interesting because it's a huge star cluster, about 400 light years away, 440 light years away. The specific distance is 444 light years away. So that's interesting.
Exactly. And the 444 energy is the heart chakra. So this is powerful because we got Venus, which is connecting to the deeper love and relationships. That's the depth of the heart. And this 444 energy of the Pleiades is taking all of that energy of the heart. So, I mean, I'll go into it more later, but this is just powerful.
Yeah, and I loved how we linked up on this because it kind of really hit me how important this conjunction was and the fact that we're in it right now. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I could do a video on myself, but I want to kind of balance the yang and the yin and yin and yang, like everything. So it's like, and then you immediately popped to mind. It's like, that's the perfect person. Let's do it. And then you said that you were able, and like within 24 hours, here we are. So that's great. The fourth agent, which I just realized is part of this, which we only get about every 12,000 years or so, is Sedna. Because Sedna right now, which is this super distant trans-Neptunian object with a very elliptical orbit that comes in close to the sun every 12,000 years approximately. It's about 11,400 years, but it goes out to 1,000 astronomical units as distance, as most distant. That's 1,000. Earth, sun is 1. Its closest is like 76 astronomical units, so it gets quite a bit closer. That right now is also conjunct the Pleiades. So we actually have Venus, Uranus, the Pleiades, and Sedna all conjunct right now in the sky, which is basically something that we've never experienced. These other cycles I'll talk about briefly, right? Every 84 years, yeah, we have that kind of record, but the Sedna influence, which is hugely transformative, we really don't know. But maybe you can tell us.
What I'm
A little
picking
bit.
up, yeah, what I'm picking up with Sedna is it's counterbalancing the Uranus energy. So Uranus feels like there's something of breaking cycles, and then Sedna feels like bringing a frequency of peace. I keep seeing this golden white light beaming in, and I can hear the frequency going higher and higher, and it's just coming through as bringing in the peace, reminding of the peace that's already here.
That would be great because these cycles that can get broken with Uranus, they can not be broken nicely, let's say.
Yeah,
And
disruptor.
maybe we don't necessarily need more violence on this planet now. The last time we had Sedna at close to perihelion, which is where it is roughly right now, perihelion specifically will be 2076, was around the time of Göbekli Tepe and the Younger Dryas. So it's very interesting in that regard. So just anyone that's watching, Natalie has a YouTube channel that's, is it Natalie Namaste Healing? Or is it
Oh,
Namaste
I've got a
Natalie Healing?
fairy friend, Luna, that's just come in.
Oh, hey.
Oh, sweet. It's Natalie Namaste Healer. That's my YouTube. And my website's natalienamaste.com.
Okay, so I'll link that in the video description for all of you folks. So if you want to follow up after this, you can check out her work. When we did a podcast together on your channel,
Yeah.
I kind of went into that just a little, not grouchy, and it wasn't anything about you, but I was just like, my mind was just like a little frazzled. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling the best. And it's like, okay, I gotta do this podcast. I'm sure it'll be great, but I don't know you. And it was just like another thing on the list. I felt amazing afterwards. I felt like this whole deep aura cleansing or something. I don't know how to explain it, but I felt so good after that. I was like, okay, good move.
This is since I was little, Stefan, I been channeling this immense light, like lightning bolts kind of light, shaking through the hands, powerful. And when I was little, I said to my mom, Mom, this can heal people, this can make people happy, remind them of the happiness. And it's just so powerful. That's what happens. When you spend time with me, you feel this immense, incredible light. And so I remember we came in and I was like, just come and be here and feel, just take a breath in and out with me. And then you and I went through such a powerful, like just a calmness and the light that I was bringing through. So yep, if anyone hasn't watched that, then also go over to my YouTube because Stefan and I, we were channeling through Atlas, and it's a powerful session. And I feel like right now what we're co-creating, it's another one of these. So I can feel the heat already coming through. There's just stay
All
aware
right.
of everything that you're going to be feeling through this, because this is more than the words that we're channeling and speaking. This is going to be energetic.
Okay, well, that said, jump in at any time if you need to, but I'm just quickly going to run through the mundane astrology of this that I basically wrote down going back to 1606, just to get it in front of people. But again, jump in at any point if you need to. I'm going to show you first off, folks, what this looks like in the sky. So here we have stellarium. And you can see our ground here. I've turned off the atmosphere, and we see this all happening in the constellation of Taurus, because the Pleiades are in the constellation of Taurus. So here we go. So we have Venus here, we have Uranus, and then we have the Pleiades. And if we add in Sedna, we see it's not exactly along the ecliptic plane because it does have some inclination to its orbit, but we see Sedna right there in this alignment as well. So again, once every 11,400 years, I guess, something like that. It's very, very rare. Now, if I discuss the mundane astrology, then what we have, and I'll put it back to split screen so everyone can see us, is right now it's what it is as I described. April 23rd is basically the exact date. So we're filming right on that day. I'm going to release this as soon as possible. Back in 1942 is when we had a conjunction between Mercury, Saturn, Uranus, and the Pleiades. And then just, that's May 4th, about a month and a half later, then we had Venus, Uranus conjunct the Pleiades, though there's like 5-degree orb to it. But this is an interesting time period, May and June of 1942, because it's right in the middle of World War II. The S&P actually reaches a low point in its valuation going all the way back to the Great Depression. And you had now rumors of the Holocaust spreading. There was this escalation of the Holocaust. You had the Battle of Midway, which was a huge turning point in the Pacific. And you also had the Manhattan Project started in June of 1942. And that's a very Uranian thing. Then you go back to 1857. This is July 3rd. You have Venus conjunct Uranus exact. And you had, in that year, an Indian rebellion. And this is specifically a rebellion in India against the British East Indian Company, which keeps popping up again and again with this conjunction cycle, which is very interesting. And that began on the 10th of May, so just a couple months before this conjunction went exact. You go back to 1773, this is May 18th to the 19th. You have them conjunct with the sun as well in about a 5-degree orb. So it's like a Venus cazimi with Uranus and the Pleiades. And this is when you had the 1773 Tea Act. That was basically signed into law May 10th, where the British East Indian Company was able to circumnavigate like taxes or something and push it on to the colonists. And later that year, December, is when you had the Boston Tea Party, when people were complaining about these new taxes. You go back to the next one, that's 1690, and you have Venus conjunct, well, you have two different ones here, but basically April to May of 1690 is when you have this. You actually had the first sighting of Uranus in the sky by John Flamsteed, an English astronomer, but he identified it as a star instead of Uranus. Then, of course, Herschel identified it as an actual planet a year later. But you had the trading post of Calcutta in India established by the British East Indian Company in 1690. You had the first future commodities trading with rice receipts in Japan, and the first paper money was made in the Western Hemisphere. That's all in 1690. And then the last one, 1606, this is April to May, another exact conjunction of them. You had the Virginia Company of London founded on April 10th, and that's the company that delivered the first settlers to the United States and founded Jamestown. That was later in the year, December 20th. And you had the first European landing of Australia in February of 1606. You had the discovery of Vanuatu and many islands in the South Pacific. So there's all these themes of exploration and discovery of new locations, as well as some rebellious attitudes at times, like the rebellion in India, the Boston Tea Party. But you also have this mashup of the flow of commerce. It's very worldly energy, right? The British East Indian Company is very worldly, but this flow of commerce, money, and new financial technology, and then at least with the last one, with the Manhattan Project, now energy technology. So I just find it all a very unique mismatch of things. And really, that is speaking very much to the energy, the times right now, and what is happening, because we're seeing international trade, commerce, and flow undergo these disruptions and also evolutions. So this is speaking pretty directly to that, but we have this Sedna element as well. So that's the mundane astrology. I found it very interesting in how the British East Indian Company kept popping up time and time again
Yeah.
as you go back in those cycles.
Fascinating because so last weekend I was at the New Living Expo, so really in a high frequency, and I started to connect with the Pleiades. And then when you connected with me, you actually, your soul had visited me before you even emailed me. So I already knew when I saw the email, I was like, this makes sense. And putting the Pleiades, you, me, this moment, I'm going to channel the Pleiadians, this beautiful consciousness, which is bringing in a lot of divine feminine energy. So this is going to be fascinating for all of us what comes in. I've been tuning in to them through the last, I'd say, 24 hours, just really connecting with them. And what I've already been picking up on is with this conjunction, Venus is very active with the relationship to yourself. It's now under the spotlight. And we'll go deeper into that when I channel. Uranus is disrupting. You see, for so long on the earth, we have been focusing awareness onto our human self and our identifying as the human aspect and connecting stronger to the thinking part of the mind. What's being disrupted now is a shift from that focus on the human identity to an opening through the heart to the soul identity. So, this is powerful, what is happening right now. And the Pleiades, wow. First, they want everyone to know that everyone who's here has connected with them before in your own unique way. They're also known as the seven sisters, the divine feminine energy, and the number seven, which is powerful acceleration into higher dimensional states of awareness. Seven is the seventh heaven. It's the seventh highest frequency state that we can reach and experience through meditation, through awareness, through presence embodied. So as we connect to our soul and shift awareness to our soul identity, we expand and our mind expands and opens, and we are able to connect to the seventh dimension. And this is powerful. It's that highest frequency energy. So the Pleiades, the energy of the Pleiadians is this feminine energy. They are all about supporting us to awaken, to expand our consciousness as far out as we can, and to be able to hold the higher frequency light codes while we are still being human. And this is all coming in now. What they're also speaking about right now is that, so anyone who feels very connected to them, if you feel a strong connection, what it means is, when you were preparing yourself to incarnate in your physical form in this lifetime, you spent energetic time in the Pleiades and you've been supported by them. They are your star family. So when you look up at the night sky and you see these beautiful seven sisters, the energy and light is supporting you. And then so you spent time and energy there, and then you were consciously bringing your energy and light into the physical form, into your mother's womb, into the body, and then you were birthed. So you've got a strong connection. And this goes for any star family out there. The Lyrians, Sirius, the Sirians, Arcturus, the Arcturians. if you feel a connection, and it doesn't have to just be to one star family, you might have a connection to a few. And if you have a connection to a few, it means one, you're an old soul and you've incarnated through different star families at different times, depending on the frequency and the energy that you're needing for that particular life. So, what's coming in right now is the strong connection to the Pleiadians. And I'm going to channel them right now. And I invite everyone who's here to close your eyes and to experience the light codes, the power, the energy that is going to be moving through you, and also the divine words. May they land deeply into your heart.
And I'll be doing that too behind the screen, folks. So get ready. Please take part if you feel called to do so.
Absolutely. I invite you to roll your shoulders up to your ears and then back, to open up your heart center, the heart chakra, which is the fourth energy center. And close your eyes and breathe into your heart and out of your heart. And as you do this, this energy center starts to open and expand. And the light of the Pleiades, for 444 light years, sending the 4-4 of the infinite love into your heart. And you are opening to receive, feel, and be. The seventh heaven, high dimensional energies are also entering right now. The seventh chakra, the top of your head, the crown, is also activating and opening right now as the Pleiades are bringing in their wisdom and their light to you right now. Also, be aware of the earth. She is humming a sacred frequency right now, as she is saying that she is being tuned up by this sacred conjunction, by this connection. She is being tuned up just like your physical body is. There is an opportunity for old energies to clear with this powerful energy happening in our universe. I now hand over to the Pleiadians. We are here. We are right here, powerfully connecting to you all during this sacred time. It is very sacred. It is a time to let go of an ancient, human, outdated pattern. This is what is happening right now. You see, there has been strong awareness and focus on the wounded human, and one is often trying to fix oneself. And Uranus is disrupting this. You may be noticing that you're trying to heal or trying to fix. The problem is the trying. And so Uranus is helping you to stop trying, to actually surrender. And as Uranus disrupts and shifts that focus of trying to fix, and when you try to fix, what happens is that you end up focusing your awareness, your light and energy on the problem energy, on the wounded human, meaning it could be something from this lifetime, or it could be the witch wound, or a lifetime where you've struggled and gone through some immense trauma and pain. As Stefan mentioned, the cycles, many cycles of wounding, of trauma that Earth has been holding, and that your even body has been holding. Right now is an opportunity to shift focus and let go of the wounding. The wounding is divine perfection. Only by having had those experiences, you are able to hold the most powerful strength inside of you. You can get through anything that life brings. And so, right now, this activation that is taking place is cracking open and cracking through and breaking down that attachment to the human wounded self. And pay attention over the next 48 hours, because it will come up to the surface. You will be able to recognize where you have been a victim, and where you even speak language of, oh, this is a problem, and where the mind, the awareness, the expanded mind is focusing its energy on, and you will dissolve it and it will release. We are here to deeply support this powerful change that is happening right now. And as that old energy dissolves and crumbles and cracks and breaks down, it feels like the phoenix rising. You will start to feel the seventh dimensional energy, very, very high frequency waves from the center of your core moving outwards into your aura. And we will be standing with you, holding you through this. Now, what you might feel physically is you might have some pressure in certain areas. Right now, Natalie is feeling a pressure in the right side of the rib connected to the liver. The liver, your liver, is going through a cleansing and a refreshing of its energy. All of you that are hearing our message will experience this, because the liver holds so much memory of the wounded pain of the humanity. And we together right now with the whole of the human race are dissolving that. And as it dissolves and releases this fresh new energy, which is ancient, wise, spiritual light, is igniting from the center of your core outwards and shifting those energies. And as this happens, and a new alignment is starting to take place over the next 48 hours, your awareness, your mental energy will be less and less and less focused on the human self and more expanded on the soul identity. You will start identifying with your spirit, with your soul. And as this happens, Venus comes in with this immense opening of your heart. The relationship to yourself is shifting. More love and kindness for yourself. And as you connect with this love of your soul, you are a multi-dimensional being, and for too long on your earth, you've been limited in your focus, focusing narrow on the human aspect, trying to do, trying to create, trying to push. This energy is cracking open, and you will see this inside yourself and also in your outside world. In the next 48 hours, things are going to shift and change in your outside world as well. Money is going through a shift right now. The relationship with money, it's outdated. It is breaking free and releasing, and the seventh dimensional high frequency light that we are bringing in is actually even going to change the frequency when you're holding a paper note or whatever the note is made out of. When you're holding the card, notice over the next few hours your relationship, your mental connection to money. This is a powerful energetic change that is happening over these next few hours, to do with money, to do with a shift of your relationship and identity with the human self into the expansion of identity with the soul that you are, and deep heart opening to more and more kindness and love in your world through the opening and activation with Venus. We are the divine feminine frequency, the Pleiadians that we are bringing through this frequency. The divine feminine is energy of receptivity, great intuition, stillness, presence. And so we bring this energy in strongly for you all to experience, especially with this extra gift of the peace of the golden silver white light that is also coming in during this time, and that normally comes in with this alignment. Oh, very, very rarely. This is a very sacred alignment. Stay aware of how you shift and how you focus and how your heart opens. And do not be afraid of the crumbling of the old patterns. This needs to happen. Know that as those layers are crumbling during this alignment, this is a good thing, even though it's not always comfortable. Know that as an outer layer that's been holding you in a certain frequency crumbles and dismantles, it leaves more space for the phoenix to rise and for more of that internal light to shine out and radiate in all directions. Take time over the next 48 hours to be in nature so that you can anchor in this high frequency, to give yourself space and time to breathe out the old energies that are releasing, and to be with the divine feminine that we are bringing in for you. Often you are running with the divine masculine energy, which is doing, thinking, creating, and manifesting. But with the amount of light that we are bringing in right now, we invite you to lean in to more stillness, silence, and receptivity. Over the next 48 hours, have the palms of your hands facing up to the sky, where we will be sending you signals of this light, and it will be absorbed into your heart and in through the palms of your hands. There are no mistakes. Everything is always in its absolute divine perfection. You are here, hearing us, feeling us, and receiving all that is opening up during this sacred conjunction and alignment. May it align you and focus you deeply to your soul. And from this alignment, may every moment from this, you feel more and more connected to your spiritual essence, and that your soul can guide you, and that your mind can be the servant for your soul. Heart first, and then head, shifting humanity into the higher frequency realms. We are here to support you greatly. We are your star family, and we love you. Do not rush, do not move, just be. Notice what you're feeling. Notice what you're experiencing in your body. This powerful transmission from the Pleiadians, from our star family. This huge heart chakra, heart opening, and top of the head crown opening to your soul. What I'm sensing is that your soul is now strongly in your body, and that some of you, it was as if your soul was slightly out of your body. It was in the higher energy center, so your throat, your third eye, and the top of the crown. And through this transmission, your soul is now deep in your body, in your belly. There are 72,000 meridians, energy centers in your belly. And in many cultures, ancient cultures, they know that the belly is the space of creation. It is the place where, when the soul sits here, you have gut intuition. You are deeper connected to your soul. And so I can sense for all of you that your soul is back in your body and in your base chakra, the root, which is in the pelvis. So anchoring this energy and really grounding you down. It doesn't help to go high frequency and be out of the body. The whole purpose of choosing to be human and incarnating is to bring those high frequencies into the body and live being a human with this light embodied. And so what's just happened is we've activated the energy. And I feel that there's a message also coming from the Pleiadians. They're saying that some past lives where humans have been wounded have been released and will continue to release over these 48 hours. So it's going to be very fascinating for us to see what happens individually and collectively and energetically. So take a few deep breaths in and out of your belly, your sacral, and then have a good stretch, a yawn. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and just stay observing all the energy and space around you. Yeah, just observing how we've shifted the frequency in your room, in your space. Taking a few beautiful breaths in and out. And what I can see in the space that I'm in is this white golden light, sparkling and shimmering. And Stefan, around you, I can see a lot of violet light, meaning that you've expanded into the seventh dimensional energy, which is the crown chakra, which is violet light, the highest frequency color that we can see with our eyes. Yeah, while my hands are pins and needles from the frequency that the Pleiades channel. It's so beautiful.
And they were like, Stefan, you need to release this video now. Like, you have 48 hours. Like, all right, okay. We're going to
Yeah,
get this online immediately. That was
they
fantastic,
know
though.
the energy. So sorry about the pressure that's on you, the technical
Oh,
side.
it's no pressure. It's easy to do.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I had a sense that this was a pretty profound conjunction, and now like every layer added on, like first remembering that Sedna is there, and then now what you've channeled, and it's like, okay, like this is how did people miss this? Like, I mean, we didn't miss it. Everything's perfect as it is, but at the same time, like I'm surprised I guess maybe it's this disconnection of the soul and the deeper centers because everyone's been focusing on the big Mars stuff and the Saturn stuff and the all these more masculine things. But this deeply transformative, huge conjunction once every 11,400 years happening, that's maybe one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest.
It's huge. What they keep saying is that even those who aren't awake and are still focusing all their awareness on their human self, even they're going to feel something on some sort of a level. Something's going to shake up a little bit and it's going to open them up. And what I'm also feeling is the way that Venus is humming this energy, it also feels like the third eye because we've spoken about the heart and the crown, and because when these two centers open so deeply and profoundly, it automatically opens the third eye, which is the soul center. When we see beyond um, the physical reality, when we close our eyes and we see colors or we sense things through this inner vision, it also feels like something's happening here for those who are attached to the human self. So that's going to be interesting to observe what happens.
Yeah, there's the sense of us finally realizing almost what certain things that we kind of say mean, which is, we're a spirit living a human experience, and there's some aspect of repetition and just thinking about that, meditating on it, that helps it to really sink in. But this will maybe finally, and I'm not saying, this is a continuous journey of being more soul embodied, as you call it. But maybe this will really push a lot of people firmly into that deeper experience of that. And
Absolutely.
then how that actually translates in their life, their family, community, and then the world at large.
Yeah, because you can think it, but you're still in the level of the mind. So you're thinking, oh, I'm a soul in a body, I'm spirit first. You can think it, but because of this alignment and conjunction that's happening now, it actually surges us forward and helps us to not think it, but know it. And the only way to know things is to go through a direct experience of it. And that's what's happening now.
Yeah, I'm feeling it to some degree right now. I can just, and it's weird because it seems to be blending across like the past, the present, and the future. But just this, I can just kind of feel that, like right now. At least if I feel it more so than I have before, about this moment, this present moment, really being almost like a microcosm of everything, and like a focus, crystallization, condensation point, a precipitation point for then like the next era, you could say, to begin. We'll see.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of concentrated light to condense ourselves into a physical form, and it takes daily awareness to maintain focus on the human that we are. And we're doing really a great job of that. And then to expand back. So it's like microcosmic involution and macrocosmic evolution is happening at the same time. So right now we've got that focus, and at the same time we're then re-expanding out to remember the fullness that we are, the immense infinite light that's creating every moment. And that's what's happening right now. We're remembering it in the cells of our body. It's when the word remember, it happens because um the membrane, the outer edge of the cell, lights up. It actually lights up with energy and light when we remember that we are the infinite being having a finite human experience, and we're able to hold the polarity of it. But what happens in life is we kind of struggle with it. We either get so involved in the human aspect and forget the spiritual, or we go so far in the spiritual we forget the human. Right now is the opportunity to hold it in a state of balance.
Yeah, that's what I'm really feeling, that integration. And yeah, there's this like pendulum seesaw effect, and people kind of swing between them. Of course, there's people that are in that central spot. They've done the work, they're there, they were gifted, whatever. But yeah, more people there would be great. And we're also not alone, too. Are you feeling anything as it relates to, I mean, like just going off of some of the mundane astrology, for example? It's based off of a lot of kind of like oceanic themes. Sedna has this archetype related to the ocean, actually the deep sea creatures. The myth, to make it really fast and simple, is that she's an Inuit woman, and she was out fishing with, I think, her father, and a big storm came in, and the boat was going to capsize, so her dad like threw her off. Just tragic and crazy. She was holding on, and to make it out, he went ahead and chopped her fingers, and she sunk down into the depths, and her fingers became the sea creatures that we know of. And so she was transformed by the storm, and she became the storm. So now, at least for the Inuit, I guess, they pray to her when they're out in the ocean, because they don't want, of course, to encounter a storm. but there's this linkage to the very deep ocean, the sea creatures, and I mean, for example, porpoises like dolphins and whales, sea turtles. Um, they are really connected to these energies, I think, more than most people realize. Um, was there any, when you were doing the channeling, was there anything that you were picking up that maybe you didn't vocalize as it relates to, or just what you're feeling yourself as it relates to how these energies are also interacting with them?
What I'm sensing and the words that are coming in is as above, so below. So, what's happening in our solar system is happening deep within the ocean, and as above, so below. So, we have our star families, what we call aliens, extraterrestrials, up there and out there, but they're also deep within the ocean. So these beings of expanded divine intelligence that that scientists haven't even uncovered or discovered yet, they are holding a sacred hum and vibration in the waters. And with Sedna's energy, because the polarity and Sedna is bringing in the frequency of deep peace from that story that you've just shared of the chaos and the storm. It's exactly what's happening here. It's this deep releasing of ancient energy, and as that old energy releases, what is always here in the present moment, the depth of the ocean is still. As you get to the surface, that's where the waves are, the movement, the experience of being human. And at the depth of the ocean, this peace is always here. It is the infinite presence. It is your expanded, wise self, and it's always available to you. The waves cannot be created if there isn't the infinite self that's holding all of it in its space and place. So there's a few things here. It feels like the extraterrestrials that are deep under the ocean are communicating stronger with us. Many people might start to sense and see. Then also there may be more sightings of ships and more people hearing and connecting because they've shifted their frequency to the seventh dimension, which means it's way easier to connect to all beings that vibrate in higher levels, not just up, but also down within the ocean and within the earth. There are beings that live even in the crystal caves inside the earth. So look and connect in all directions during this time, because the hum of the infinite wisdom is vibrating very strongly at this time.
Whew. How do you feel?
Whoa, everything is turning into light. And yet I'm so embodied, like I can feel the vibration. So this means if I'm experiencing it deeply, everyone who's here is experiencing something at the level of that they're ready to receive. And just stay aware and know and honor that each one of us experiences in our unique way, and honor the unique way in which you're experiencing your soul embodied.
I suppose just at a minimum, the next few days are just a period of greater mindfulness. Like it's so long as maybe even just taking that only step will allow the rest to fall into place. And I don't think that's too much of an ask because we should be doing that anyways. So I would encourage everyone to, just maybe pull back a little bit from the hustle and bustle if you can, however you can, and cultivate some mindfulness throughout the day. But maybe even if you need, like, I just need 5 minutes where I'm just like touching into what's happening with me, what's actually happening with my surroundings, and then that connection can come through. Because, like, for example, fiber optic cable, which transmits all the energy of the internet and the information, everything, it's lightning fast. I think there are these benefits to doing like long meditations or these long retreats, like you've done these super long silent retreat meditations, and those sound awesome. I'm not discounting that at all. But sometimes energy can come in quick because there's also this recognition from spirit and everything else that's like these people are working really hard, and maybe they don't have 10 days to fly off to Cuba or whatever for a silent, like it's just the situation of the moment. So if you just take that halfway step there, then I think everything else will reach you as well. If you've been watching this video, you've already been doing it. If you'd like to share this with other people for this alignment to get them as more firmly connected to this, then I would encourage that. But there's no pressure on anybody. But we thank you all for being here as well, right? I don't think this would have happened without everyone else here also resonating at the same time. So thank you all so much. And thank you, Natalie, for this incredible channeling. Anything else that you would like to share or speak to, or just in general, like?
Yeah.
Stage is yours.
Stefan, I love that you said 5 minutes, because the number 5 was just coming through to me. And so what I'm picking up is that over the next 48 hours, 5 minutes, 5 times in the day, just to bring all awareness into your body and feel that immense energy through your central channel, and also dipping into that sacred center in your belly, and a few deep breaths in and out. That is going to do something very special for you. That's the message that's coming through. And I really want to say thank you so much, that Stefan, thank you to you that you listened to that voice that came in and said, get hold of Natalie. And thank you to everyone who's here, because together we are building the most incredible new earth. We're birthing it through our presence, our awareness. Thank you for being in this community. And yeah, I know Stefan and I would love to hear from you. So yeah, just add your magic into the chat and we'll feel it. I'm just feeling a lot of love for everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you all. See you soon.